Howdy, friends. I am doing some coding tonight. Uh, Basically, I'm always coding. Just wanted to put that out there. Like, I'm always coding. Um, so yeah, I'm pretty stoked that I'm gonna try and start doing this more often because I this is what I do 99% of the time. Like, if I'm not making a video for my channel, then I'm coding. And a lot of the time I'm coding for like clients, so I don't know how they would feel about me sharing some of the stuff that I do for them. But right now, this is for a client, but I'm building it into my web engine that I've built from the ground up for myself. So uh, I'm gonna share this. This is gonna be fun. I'm gonna share this on my Twitter and on my channel. Create a post. Are you kidding me? There we go. Pardon the burps. I just had dinner, so I there's no holding back. Let me tell you that much. If you guys want to, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show the results of the coding. I'm gonna be testing it as I code, but this is what I'm doing right now. This is pretty cool. So, all right. So I like to document as I'm coding as well. So what I did was I just kind of like set out what I want this to do. Right. So we're gonna be doing a slideshow. That's what we want this class to do. Now we have over here we have modal.js. I'm going to close these because these are going to be proprietary-ish. I know I do a little bit of proprietary code. I apologize. You got to pay the bills somehow, guys. All right. So let's do. You know what? You know what? I'm actually going to switch workspaces here as well. Yeah, let's do this. Now this is just a piece of code that I'm working on for myself, but I am going to don't need this, don't need that. I want slideshow, right? Oh, that's not it, slideshow. And I probably do want that open too. All right. So basically what I'm doing is I want to have a class that that you hand a list of elements or query selectors, and the slideshow class in your browser will find those elements and then loop through them. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is I've already started with this. We're going to have our elements as a property of the class, and it's going to be an array. And then we're going to have a pointer that says what the current index into the array is, the one that we're showing on screen. Then we're going to have the timeout, and this is going to be variable, but if you don't provide one, it'll be 2,000 seconds. So about, what is that? 2,000 seconds. I think that might be a bit much. Let's do 200 seconds. We'll see what happens. Is that microseconds? I think 2,000 is 2 seconds. All right. As you'll find out, I'm not very good at this. I'm not good at numbers. I'm good at like logic. All right. So we have the elements. So the first thing you provide, basically the way it will work is you'll do you'll do var or let or something slideshow equals new slideshow. I might not be the greatest at actually describing code as I'm writing it. So we'll do query. So we'll do image 1. And then we'll provide another one. So we'll do image 2. And then we'll do another one, image 3. So these would correspond to image elements with an ID of image 1, image 2, or image 3. And they don't have to be images. They could be div with backgrounds or anything. What would be in MS? I'm not sure what that means. So the first thing we're going to do is have, yes, milliseconds, correct. Yeah. So yeah, in the browser, it's almost universally milliseconds. So we have add elements. So we're going to loop through the list of elements. We're going to query for them using document selector query or document query selector. And then we're going to check if the query results in null, meaning it's not found. And if it is found, right? If it's not null, then we're going to push it to our array. That might not be the most ideal way to do it, but it'll work for now. The next thing that we want to do, so now we're going to, let's add, start our actual, so we're going to have a start slideshow class. The nice thing about class method, I mean, the nice thing about classes is that you can access current elements with this. So this, actually, you know what we need to do before we do that? Now that we have discovered all of our items, we need to make sure that they are all hidden. So let's do show, or no, let's do all right, let's think about this. Equals null. Let's continue. All right, so now we'll just skip adding it, or we'll skip going to the next set of steps here. And then let's do query, right? Because that's going to be the item we just found. And then we want to actually hide it. So let's do style. Yes, style opacity equals 0. Query, also we're going to have style. Hey, how's it going? Kai, I'm working on some slideshow code for a browser. It's going to be very simple. You know what actually we should do instead of doing it this way is we should actually have a hide callback, because that's just how I roll. Callback hell is the most amazing hell. This hide callback equals hide callback. And at this point, because we're going to have so many of these frickin' options, let's just make it a destructured parameter. Hide callback equals element. And then let's do L style opacity equals 0. So this is just going to be the default transition opacity. Let's do 0.5 seconds. Why not? That means that we probably want to increase this to like 5,000 milliseconds or something. And then we'll also have a show callback. And this is going to be L style. And this will give us flexibility if we need it later. Opacity is going to be 1. And then L style is going to be transition. Oh, we don't need that. Do we need that? I don't think so. I don't think we need that. All right, and then we're going to do this show callback. It's going to be show callback. And now we're storing those elements, those callbacks in the actual thing. Display none. No, I'm not going to use display none here because I want to be able to like smoothly animate them. Although I do think it makes sense to do something like hidden callback. So once it's been hidden, yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to use display none. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I think at the moment, display none. I want to animate these. That's really what it is. I want them animated, and they don't need to have interactability at this point. So I'm animating them. Yeah, and since we're transitioning opacities and stuff, you know what? We should have let's do after hide callback, because you know what? You made me think about that, and you're probably right. And we can simplify this because we don't need that on another line here. And this we can probably simplify as well. After hide L style display equals none. And then let's also do before show callback, because I want these to run separately, because this is going to be like before we show the item. Actually, do we need the before show callback? I don't think so. This is me thinking out loud now. Let's just go ahead and make this its own thing, and then we'll say L style. This might not work exactly as I expect. Display equals crap. I don't know what the display is going to be equal. Just that, and then it'll inherit whatever, because that's going to modify the actual DOM elements style attribute. All right. So, and then we need an after hide callback. This after hide callback equals. All right. I wish that there was like easy promotion rather than having all this boilerplate crap. That's fine. Okay. So instead of this, let's do this hide callback is going to be query. And actually, this add, or no, we want query add event listener. And we're going to do transition end. And then we will do element or event equals, what do we want this event to do? We want it to be after this, after hide callback. Boom. And let's put query in there. That ought to do. That should do just fine. So now once the transition finishes, once the transition finishes, we're going to do the after hide callback, which is going to, at least here, it's going to display none the element. Now, I am concerned that this is going to happen too quickly, and this isn't going to play the transition for the opacity, but we will come to that in a moment. Okay, so we have established our elements. I believe that's everything that we need to do. Now we're going to, let's do this elements, this pointer equals, or dot, let's do this show callback, that element, that pointer. That's going to start our first one here. So that kicks us off, and then we're going to do set timeout. Do we want to do that? No, this is going to be in the start slideshow. This. This is going to be a little bit glitchy. So I'm just realizing. Let's actually make this just a conventional loop. So we're going to do let I equal 1 rather than 0. And then we're going to do I is less than or equal to this. What are we doing? Elements dot length minus 1. And then we're going to do I plus plus. That should be good. Okay, so now we're not going to apply. But that's not going to work either. I wanted to skip the first one. Nope. This is 100% from scratch. I don't like frameworks. I'm building my own framework with blackjack and hookers. I don't like frameworks. Frameworks kind of piss me off. They're bloated and they're slow, and I just don't like them. Dude, you should see my site. I mean, like the stuff that I'm building. Actually, I mean, here's a good example. This is like something I'm working on for myself. And like, I mean, just look how fast this loads. Like, I mean, granted it's like right here, but like boom. Yeah, I'm actually like preventing non-encrypted traffic from logging in because screw that. What the heck? It's done that a couple times. So now I'm on HTTPS, and not everything's styled here. And the other thing is, this is really cool. You can actually like log in, boom. It's actually pulling the same login template from the server. Like that's an AJAX request. Where did the live stream go? Here it is. I use a framework because you're terrible. I love HTML and JavaScript and CSS. I really, really dig them. I dig it. Oh my God. I fancy myself somewhat of a designer if I'm, could be so bold. What is remove the unused educ relation? Yeah, that's fine, I guess. Thank you, Microsoft. All right, let's start slideshow. So the start slideshow, you know what? Screw it. I'm doing it the correct way. 0. Don't really need to do this but whatever. Start slow show callback. So this basically is going to start the first one. Whoops. This is going to start the first whatchamacallits. The first one is going to be hidden and then shown rather than transition. Although the other thing to consider, I think there's going to be more here. There's more that I've got to do, I think, beyond just this. So, and because I have a rule that I don't like, I have like a kind of a rule that I don't like more than one level of indentation per method. I think I'm going to separate this out into this init element L. No. First of all, because I've done it this way, this is wrong. Let's refactor this one more time here. Let I of this element. Now I is going to equal that. So this is going to be I, come on. And then init element. And then we're going to do L. And then this query. Nope. This is going to be query. Okay, and then let's do L and refactor these two, or multiples. Can we refactor just this one? No, I guess L. 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 Okay. Okay. Init element. Because now what I also have to do is this, and we want L dot style dot position. I think we want relative, and then we can position them with 0. Mitchell, yes. Have fun with that. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it, Mitchell. Yeah, that sounds like a fun competition. I don't do much hacking unless you consider this hacking, which it's not. You love Sass. Kai loves Sass more than CSS, but I generally dislike HTML and JavaScript. I get annoyed using it. I'm making my own HTML JavaScript with Blackjack and hookers. Nice. Here's the thing about JavaScript. I know a lot of people who hate JavaScript, and I feel like that hate is unduly levied against it. I'm much more of a JavaScript person. I know a lot of people. Actually my brother-in-law, he doesn't like coding. He considers himself a designer, and his experience with JavaScript is jQuery, and I don't like jQuery. I'm not going to knock it. It gets people into coding. It's how I started with JavaScript, actually. But like, while it does make a few like certain tasks simpler, I prefer JavaScript, like vanilla. Okay, so now we're gonna init element, and we need to. I think we want to make it relative. And experience has taught me that we actually want to do this initial position. And we'll come up here and we will define these separate. Built-in styles. This, what was it again? I'm so bad with initial position equals that. Whoops. Holy Moses. Okay, thank you. Start the real work. Hey. All right. All right, this initial position, L style, top, this initial top, let's define that up here. Let's do 0, this initial, this might need to end up being a position callback, because okay. So we are positioning, and this is probably going to need to be absolute now that I think about it. All right. Now, so we have our positioning. So we're going to have them stack on top of each other. That's what we're doing here. Let's stack our elements. Then let's add a transition listener. Oh, you know what? We could probably... I don't know if that would fire if we did a transition start, listener. Node is awful. I don't like Node. I like PHP way better than Node. Although I don't know. I've thought about like switching over to Deno, but I just started writing this new framework like last week in PHP and JavaScript, so I'm gonna stick with PHP for now. I like PHP. Everybody tells me PHP is terrible, but I think it's flippin' fantastic in many respects. I much prefer it. I know a lot of people will think that's absolute sacrilege, but whatever. I also realized that I'm going to move my portrait over here. Let's scale it down slightly so you can see what I'm doing for the most part. Actually, it can go over here in this corner. Boom. Okay. In an element, start slideshow. Yeah, I think we can do this now. So this show callback is going to be all right, what do we got? It's PHP is fantastic in a lot of ways. And I've built some rendering code that I actually Kai, if you like PHP, I think we're gonna get along very, very nice. So I built a router. Let's walk through this router real fast before I continue. So basically, I'm borrowing a couple concepts from Laravel because I like Laravel. It's really nice. So over here we have our routes and we have our core routes, and so you can see I like to write a bit of documentation for my stuff. So here we go. We have our routes. So we're establishing, this is an API call, and we're establishing like hello world and then something, and then Machina, right? So whatever. These two names are actually preserved, right? So like this is actually a variable in the URL or the URI, I guess, in the path name. And this is actually prepended with API v1, and you can like set up however you want there, but in the settings you can actually change, your API calls, and like there's different API calls will actually pull in different things here. Like I could add like a webhook here, webhook.php in the routes, and the webhook, like if you type in webhook or you query, you send a GET request or whatever, like the router knows to look for the webhook because you've prepended it with, webhook, whatever. It's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of what I've done so far. I think it's pretty sweet. I did at one point, I was working on my, whatever you call it. At one point, I was working on a web framework that was very similar to this, but I didn't like plan it out as well. And so, I've already done this, by the way. I didn't plan it out very well, so there was a lot of like technical debt. But yeah, anyway, this is really cool. So the router knows that I want this. So you could type in, like, if your GET request was to API v1 hello world / gardener, and then whatever, and then that question mark there actually means that this is an optional parameter. It doesn't have to be there. And I think that's really cool. It's basically working with regexes, but PHP is great. So so now if I go over here to my browser, I pull this in. Come on, you dingus. All right, and then I go So you can see here that if I go to members.heavyelement.io, which is not a real domain, you can't actually go to it. API v1 hello world slash Gardner slash something. You'll see we actually get a response. And I can't zoom in here. Why the heck can't I zoom in? There we go. So you can see we get a response, hello world Gardner, and then something, right? And that's really cool. So you can come in here and we can see that we're actually, so this is the path that we want to map logic to. And then we have hello world at do it, right? And so that's going to be in the controllers page. So we have hello world, right? Right here. And then we have do it, which is the method name. And then basically we're just taking these two parameters and we're echoing them back, basically. Now, what we could do is actually do this instead. We do get, and then I believe we can type in something because I'm storing the names of these, the names here as get parameters. This might not work. Nope, it did not work. I think it's actually URI, something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head. I intended to change it and I haven't yet. Yeah, there we go. So it's under URI and then something, which is pretty cool, right? And like you can type in a bunch of stuff. You can like, I don't remember if this will work. What happens if I do this? But here's the thing. Hey, look at that. I love it, dude. This is really cool. And so like the same thing happens. So the default is web. If there's if it doesn't detect like one of the things that you specify in your settings as like a prefix for another controller or for another route table, then it will just default to a web page and it will render the web page. Now this is super sweet. Check this out. Let's go over here to we're classes, and then it's under web handler. All right. So here we have the web handler. Now this is actually, I'm really happy with how this has turned out because this is pretty straightforward once you kind of understand. And I haven't done as much documentation here as I really should. But basically the way it works is we have a list of content that we're going to load from our templates, right? And then we have our main content replacement. So essentially, let's keep this open, close that, and go to our templates. And basically, we write all of our templates here like this. And this is going to be like the main content template. And you can see that we find variables like this, right? But then we also have like the like style things. So each of these is going to be represented by like one of these down here. So our app settings, right? If we look at our web handler, we actually loop through this list of content replacement, prepare HTML framework, right? So we're going to loop through our content replacement, and then we're going to execute the logic that goes along with it, right? So app settings is going to load it's going to load our, it's going to JSON encode our public settings. Okay. And then it's also going to do this. It's going to like echo or it's going to like embed our root style definitions, which are going to be like CSS variables that we want to use. And then it's going to return that. And so this return value is going to be what is embedded here in app settings. And the same goes for all of these. However, main content is going to be separate because this is going to be the template that that the controller for the web actually provides. So if we go to pages, you can see we're adding a template here. And these actually do use some globals in order to do this properly. But you know what? It works, and I'm not worried about using globals too much because sessions are pretty well sanitized and compartmentalized from each other. So we have our variables that we're going to provide specifically for our template. And then there's also like app settings that the template can access, and the get and post settings, and the session variables for like the user. And then there's also this is the template. So this is going to load parts index right here. So parts index, and this is the basic hello world that you see here. Boom. And I don't know. I feel like it's pretty straightforward. I know I'm like rushing through it kind of, but coding is cool. I have Peter. Yeah, coding is cool. Yeah, Peter Jansen. How's it going, my dude? You can code in C. I don't know much PHP. You need to learn that too. PHP is weird, but I like it. PHP is weird. I'm actually training one of my employees to learn PHP. He's actually picking it up pretty well. He learned C when he was in computer science, or at least a little bit. I really do need to document more of this code though. Dang. Anyway, let's go back to doing the slideshow. Okay, so we're gonna start our slideshow. Now I need to like remind myself here. Okay, so this show callback, and then we're gonna do I don't think we want display none. I think we want like visibility hidden. I feel like that might make more sense. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay. This show callback. Let's see. So Peter says the arrow is a pointer, for example. Wait, I can code and see. I don't know much PHP. I don't know which payment system. So the thing about this is that these aren't really pointers, as far as I know. These are like pointing to things in this context. So like in the class. So like once you've instantiated it, this is going to point to like the property. I honestly don't know C, so I can't speak to that, but I was told that this is weird syntax for an object. Like it's usually this, and that makes sense because that's how it works in JavaScript over here. And I've been told that JavaScript shares a lot of similarity with Java. Really, the only two languages I know are PHP and JavaScript. Oh, thank you, Frosty Flake. I appreciate that. Only this part is less clear to me. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. I know in PHP you can do this, and it returns it's like a positive or negative one for like sorting purposes. This show callback, this element. There's something else I need to do here. I've been like sitting here for like a minute trying to figure this out. This callback, this elements, this pointer. I guess start slideshow makes sense. That's all you need to do there. Show callback. Oh yeah, and then we need to do this timeout is going to equal set timeout, and then let's create a function, and it's going to be this. Wait a minute. I'm thinking about this all wrong, my dudes. Anyway, it's going to be this. And it's going to be timeout, right? Okay. This timeout. And then we're going to do this hide callback. And we're going to do this elements, this pointer. And I just realized, no, I think we do need to do this. Wait a minute. Ooh, I'm like thinking about this now. This isn't the way we want to do it, because what we're going to have, I didn't write this out. I often do, but basically we're going to have a stack. We're going to have a stack of elements, and the way I've written it now is like the first one is going to be on top, right? And then the next one's going to be underneath. And what we want to have is to have the top one fade out and have the bottom one already visible. Right? But what I'm doing now is they're going to like fade out and in at the same time. And there is a subtle difference. A pointer in C is just a memory address. Oh, yeah, okay. I understand that. I do watch like Fail Overflow and a couple other stuff. Oh, yeah. So that's HTML that you're talking about. So like this right here, this is going to be HTML. Like, so this is where, you know, you have your script here. And so like where I was showing over here where it's script ID app setting, this is actually, I'm like writing out a string of HTML here. I'm concatenating a JSON encoded property of the global app object in a script string. So this is going to become, once it gets embedded here, it's going to become like normal HTML. That's, yes, that was a good question, good clarification. And the same here, the style tag is actually going to become like style HTML. And this is basically just a string, and the dot is a concatenation operator. Yeah, good question. I hope I explained that correctly, or in a way that you understand. Okay, so we want to start the slideshow, right? Okay. Oh, this might have been I might have bit off a little bit more than I can chew right now thinking about this. Hold on. Let's figure this out. So we have, all right, so we're listening for the transition end event, right? Okay. We have a couple of callbacks. Okay. I don't know if that's going to work. So now we need to actually start testing this. So let's actually, so the first thing that we need to do is actually add the slideshow JS to our packages. So these are going to be, let's go into our setting definitions. We're going to go to our packages, and this can go near the top because this is like dependencies. So like the later ones are going to be depending on the former ones. And we're just going to add here slideshow.js. And then because I've saved this, it's going to regenerate a couple of the cached items that get generated when you modify the settings. Now the next thing we need to do is go over here to core controllers. We're going to add a function. We're going to function debug slideshow. I don't think we need any parameters, but we are going to add vars. We're going to add a title, and this is going to be slideshow test, whatever. And then we're going to add a template. I'm doing this in the wrong order, but let's do, I think templates are stored in debug. Yeah. Debug slideshow dot HTML save. That's all you need to do to the other thing you need to do to define a route is go into routes, and we'll go into web, and we will do in here, let's just copy this line and do slideshow. And then let's do debug slideshow. Oh wait, yeah. Core controllers, debug slideshow. We're actually going to move this because we don't want it in core controllers. This is for a different thing. We're going to do debug right here. Let's add it in here. Okay. And then we'll do, we don't need core controllers anymore. Debug is set in here, and we have our web route. It's going to be in there. Okay. Let's go to debug slideshow. And it's going to give me it's going to give me a white screen of death. Okay. Debug slideshow. Why is it a white screen of death? That should never happen in my new framework. Why is it happening? All right, we're going to debug this real fast. Oh, crap. I did not type in correctly. Oh, I typed in cars. And still nothing. I didn't save it. So let's go back and refresh. Really? Still nothing? I think it's because this is not, haven't created that yet. But it should give you a 404. Could not load the class. Web exception. Dude. Okay, so that's going to be here. Under load template. And we need to add a frickin' backslash there. Good gravy. All right. I had to rename some of the exception classes. Why is it not loading now? Good gravy. Why? What is going on? It should work. Could not load class. We don't need this. Web handler. What is happening? Debug time, absolutely. Got to get the debugs in there. I'm glad I'm testing this, though, because we have new exception. And there isn't another one in this file, as far as I can tell. So how come... Oh, let's do everything here. That might be part of the issue. There we go. Trying to get property user ID of non-object. Okay, that's a notice. That's not going to cause that. Okay, so let's go down here. Router table, generate script content, main template load. We're going to do load template, and session equals session exists. Session array shift. Why am I storing this? Here's the thing. This should throw a 404 page because it's a exceptions HTTP not found, but it can't find that file. So why is that not working? Why is that not working? That's the question that I have. Okay, let's go to that. Let's go to that file. I can't click on it. Okay, that's fun. Exceptions, HTTP, not found. Why is this not working? That's going to be under HTTP exception. Okay. API execute, web execute. Errors, this status code HTML. Okay, let's try this one more time. Boop. Don't care. Don't care. Okay. Okay, so now let's step through again because it should be going to the destruct. Wait, what? It should be going into the destruct handler. Why is it not? Bloop. Okay. Is it because the debug is, what is this context? Context is web. It should, okay. So then let's go into this process here. Main content. Debug slideshow. Oh, because we're not updating this. Right. So it's erroring, but why is it not erroring? Okay, whatever. And we're doing add template. So why? I don't understand why this isn't working the way I think it should be working. This is not the right one that I want. I want to go to this. Okay. Web processor template. And we are adding it. Oh. Stupid. That's dumb. Okay. So I still don't understand why this isn't working. I still don't get it. Hello, Decisive Ohio. How's it going? Dude, this is like breaking in a way that I did not expect. And I want to fix it because, of course, I want to fix it. Like, I mean, I want to make sure that no matter what, I'm not getting a white screen of death. You know what I'm saying? All right, I don't want this open anymore. Dude, I'm doing fantastic, Decisive Ohio. How are you doing, my dude? Okay. So, if is set this global path. So why is web processor template, why isn't that updated? That's the question that I want to have answered. Because we're throwing this exception, we're adding the template. So okay, let's go back into global functions. We're going to add a listener here. Boom. Okay. And let's stop. Let's start listening again. And let's refresh the page. And we didn't catch that one, of course. Okay. All right. So this path is debug slideshow. Next, let's go for it again. We're in destruct mode. We are now setting errors.404. Okay. Go back. Web execute. This exit. Because I think this is why. This is why it's not working. Because we're already in the destruct context. Yeah, if we look over here, if I had just looked over here, we're already in the destruct context here. So once you call exit inside a destruct, it aborts all other like cleanup stuff. So all the instantiated classes are going to actually be exited once you exit inside the destruct of any class. So we're exiting here, and that's the issue, and we're just ending up with a white screen of death. So what that means is that how do we handle that? Better a white screen of death than a blue screen of death, I guess. How old am I? Oh, how about you? Yes. I thought that said, how old are you? To answer that question, I am 32. For another 7 months. All right. Destruct process main. Boo, 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 boo. Okay. Yikes, dude. This is an issue. Because if we're in the process, so my code is wrong, because what's happening is when we're in the web context, process, where am I? Web handler. Process gets called in the destruct method. So it's like the last thing that happens. And I'm doing this so that at any point in the code, in the web context, I can modify headers anywhere in my code, which is really nice, but also can be a little, I don't know, weird. So before we do process, main content. So here's the problem. We need to double check before process that this template exists. Okay, let's do that. So before we get here, session panel, where do we do this? Main content, load template, add template. Yeah, see, I was doing that check here. Screen content. No, wait, that's not right. We don't want these ones. I'm just going to figure this out real fast. Because we can't do it in the constructor phase. We can't do it here either because that's called in the constructor phase. So router post in it. This is where we should do it. Prepare web framework. This is where we should do it. Because the router post in it is going to be where we're doing our checks here. So if template exists, then we throw new exceptions, HTTP not found. That template doesn't exist. Let's try this. That might have solved the issue. Router post init means that we're going to have already executed our I'm pretty sure router post init is going to be where we want to do that. Still nothing, huh? Still nothing, eh? Let's figure this out here. We're still not catching. Why are we not catching? Router post init. Now I gotta open up another file. Dang, dude. Oof. Oh, wait, no. We want router post execute. We're gonna have to create a whole new thing. Ugh. This is like getting a little... Okay. Post router execute. Now let's add this class here. Function. And let's move this into here. If exceptions HTTP not found, no template specified. Okay, let's see how that works. I did invent a whole new thing here to do this. Freak. Okay. Add template. File exists. Okay, that's progress though. So then we go back to here and let's do template exists. In here, template exists. Why? Gardner, what is going on? If error on empty equals true. If error on empty and values equals empty, throw an exception, which is the exception that we just had. We don't need this one anymore. Files exist. Why is this? This should be up here. Files exist should not ever throw an error. Oh, I have it in the wrong frickin' argument list. There we go. That should fix it. Okay, ready? Add template. Boom. Could not load the... Okay, could not... Good gravy. This is like actually starting to irritate me now. Hey, give me... Good Lord. HTTPS. That does not belong there. Anyway, so now we're going to throw an actual not found. Watch. Ready? You guys, are you ready? Debug. What is happening? I don't have this listener open. All right, I guess we're using frickin' another browser. Because that one pissed me off. We're going to use Edge. Yeah, that's fine. This page isn't working right now. Why isn't it working? Why the heck isn't it working? Guys, did I create a monster? Have I created like a recursive? No. This is... What? Frick, dude. I don't... Okay. So really the only thing that I care about now is what template are we trying to load? See, because the error is still happening. So we should actually not use template. We should not use this. We don't need, this is not what we want. Globals, context processor, main, I think it's content from template. Holy crap. You know what? This is an edge case. This really is an edge case. At this point, it's not working correctly. That works. Oh my god. I wouldn't say panic. This really isn't. This is an edge case though. Like, crap. Oh, you know what we can do? You know what we can do though? Let's go back into web. Let's try this. Let's go back into web. Let's try to catch this. Try. Catch. Exception. E. We could do a HTTP exception. Yeah, let's do exception HTTP exception. And this way we can redo this process. Right? Because if we're getting an exception here, then this isn't going to like actually fire. This, let's try that. That might actually do it. Who the hell knows at this point though, honestly. Nope, still not. Why not? Let's, okay. Wait. Okay, so let's listen to this. No. Let's go back to what we had before. Add template. Add template. Okay. Boom. Because that might solve the issue. This. Oh. Freak. And this is set to exit, isn't it? Did that do it? No, sir. Well, at this point, I have no idea. So this is, like I said, an edge case, and now I'm making excuses. So let's go back into our debug. let's go over here. We're gonna add the reason that this is happening. I knew what the problem was. It's because this template doesn't actually exist yet. So let's add a new template, and we're gonna call it slideshow.html. And then let's do there. See, now it's working. So now we can add some HTML in here. So the what we need to do now is section ID equals slideshow container. We can either do images, or I'm actually not going to do images. And we're gonna just add some style right in here, inline style, because we love living dangerously. And we're gonna do ID equals container, for God's sakes. All right. Width 100%. Position relative. Position relative items are actually going to contain their slideshow item. So position relative items are going to have their absolute children relative to the parent. So that's going to be cool. So we can do div class equals slideshow item. And let's do style. You know what? Style, background image. And we're going to do URL shared image. What was it? Shared image default poster image, because that's the one that I'm going to use. And then we can close that div tag, and that's all that we need in there. And let's do another image, and this one's going to be just some rando. Let's find. I don't have any other shared. Yeah, that's all I got. Let's find another image. What is going on with my Firefox? Is like all glitched the heck out today. Like I just tried to Google or DuckDuckGo something, and it's all screwy. We don't want this. Let's close that. Let's close that. Close that. Close that. A bunch of tabs crashed. That's cool. Close, close, close. I have so many tabs open. Holy Moses. Okay. Close. Is that going to work? Okay. Close. Keep that. Keep that. All right. Let's do DuckDuckGo dot. There we go. I'm just going to add some images here. So we're going to go save this in our core. We'll just save that as a WebP. That's fine. And then Let's do one more. Because I'd like to have a few. Wow, most of these images suck. Okay. For God's sakes, please rename, grab that, throw it here. And I hit the wrong button. Rename, copy this, paste here. And then the same goes for you. Copy and paste. Did I hit the wrong button again? Copy, paste. Thank you. Okay. So now let's bring up here. Boom. And of course, it does not want to work. Why is it not working? Main section. We have our stuff. Oh, because because we don't have all right, we need a height. Height. Let's do 40 VH. Okay. Yes. Sounds good. Let's paste that here. All right. Then we also need to do height 100%, width 100%. And now these images should display. Of course they're not. Why? Oh, because... No? Are they failing to load? Am I sure that it's image? IMG? It's not shared. It's core content. Duh. Boom. Okay. Where's this one? Core content image. Is it JPEG? Where's this one? Why aren't they showing up? Oh, because I saved them in CSS. What a freaking silly goose. There we go. Now we have our images. I actually kind of like WebP. It's weird, but it's nice. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to set these to background, size, cover. And this means that they will, in whatever dimension they need to be, shrink or grow to fill the entire content block. You could also do fit rather than cover, and they will fit. Oh wait, no, it's not fit. It's what is it? Contain. That's what it is. Contain. Contain, you can see it's repeating, but we can just set it to cover. In fact, we need to do that over here. Cover. Background size cover. There we go. All right. So now we have our basic HTML for these. Pexels is great. I love Pexels. Pexels is cool. All right. So this is my image. This is the one I took. I have it as my background, and this is from Pexels. These two. Sweet. So let's go ahead and actually initialize. We're going to do script. We're going to do inline scripting too, because we're throwing caution to the wind. And we actually want to supply these with IDs. ID equals slideshow or image, and then we'll just do 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now, we could do more complex queries, but whatever. Let's do new. Let's do const. We'll do slideshow equals new slide show. And then we'll provide it. Why is that yellow instead of what? New slideshow. Holy crap. All right. Image 1. Image 2. Image 3. Actually, these need those. I think that should be everything. And of course, needs to be destructured. And this is going to be elements. Okay. We'll see. Researching corporations is super fun. I don't know why, but whenever I find a new corporation, I just hunt down every last bit of information. What corporation are you researching? Slideshow is not defined. New slideshow. Why is it not defined? Oh, we need to wait. Document, add event listener. Is it load? Is it ready? Oh, that's my company. And yeah, I'm listening to music right now. You guys can't hear it. I believe it's ready. It's been a while. I don't use like these kind of event listeners for this. Ready change state maybe. I don't remember what it is. I think that might be it. Oh my god. What did you learn about my company, Kai? I think it's load, actually. I looked it up. Load. Console. Still doesn't. Let's, see, I got to do this research now. Oh, yeah. Cool. Okay. That's cool. You know my legal or my registered address and that kind of stuff. Nice. Oh, why is this not working? Document, add event listener, load. How come that's not working? Oh, it's window. God. Window. Because of course it's not on the document. Why would it be on the document? That's the only way that makes sense. All right. For God's sakes. Now, have we closed that? I don't need that. Bum, 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 bum. So we've added the elements. We've initted the elements. But have we though? All right, time to debug this. Let's go to sources. Debug slideshow. Let's go to core content. JavaScript. Slideshow. Okay. Oh man, Kai. That's been a long process. I tried to do it like 2 years ago, and I just got really frustrated because I couldn't figure it out. I just paid my accountant to set it up for me. I was like so sick of it. I've had the name and the concept behind my company since 2007, 2008 maybe. I've had it for a very long time. And then in 2014, I was talking about doing it with Carl, and that's when I started. Carl's my best friend, and then I actually started doing my YouTube channel in 2014. So when it says 2014 in my logo, that's what I'm referring to. It's when I started my channel. What is this? Okay. So we're going to add some breakpoints and we're going to debug this. Bum, 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 bum. All right. Add elements. Let's go into the add. And that didn't do anything. Add elements. Why is that not working? This element is an empty array. Oh. Duh. Whoops, that's not what I want to do. Let's go over here and do that. Elements. You could have told me that was going to be the problem there. Okay. Gadoy. Let's try this one more time. All right. Okay. We're going to edit this. We're going to edit this. Hey, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. Hey. Okay. So let's see if it like does like a fuck. It does a fuck. Ooh, I don't like that. Yeah, Carl as in Hello Story Carl. He's my bestest friend in the whole wide world. I'm surprised that you know that, Kai. Oh, it did the fuck because the fucking thing. All right. Because I'm waiting for the page to load. Because we need to wait for the scripts. And the scripts are all down at the bottom. Because I want to prevent inline stuff as much as possible. Inline code pisses me off. All right. Okay. So now we need to actually have a command. The start. So we do slideshow. Start. Let's change this to just start. Let's see what happens. It disappeared. Okay. You know what though? I like it. Start. Okay. So now, actually, I kind of dig it. So we do show callback. Okay. So L add event listener. This transition start, and then let's do this show callback L, not L. We do this elements, this pointer +1. Boom, shakalaka. You love Hello Story? That's awesome to hear. I love Hello Story. We're trying to like actually get it to grow more. We want to like make it into a thing that we can actually like do sustainably going forward. Let's see what happens here. Hey, kind of. Oh, yes. Right, that's going to be an issue. Freak. Okay. Because after we do the start, after it ends, we hide it. So after we show, it hides. So that's not going to work. Hide callback. All right. We don't want that. Okay, we're going to refactor this one more time. So we're going to execute after hide callback as transition end. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to do two things. So we're going to do this show callback. After hide callback. Right? We're going to then, nope. Oh my gosh, this is getting stupid. Before show callback E. Oh, I like that idea, Kai. Yeah. Okay. We don't want that. What we do want. Oh, I'm realizing this is stupid more complicated. So, okay, we're not going to do this one right now either. What we're going to do, we don't want to init any of the listeners here. And I don't think that we want to do the hide callback here either. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to show callback. We've got everything set up here. So let's just see what happens now. Okay. Oh, we're starting at the top. I don't like that. Because that. Ooh. L style position. Style top. All right. So timeout storage is going to be that. So what we want to do, show callback. Okay. This before show callback. This elements, this pointer. That way we're passing in the current element. And then let's do this start. And it's just going to be a loop, right? Now the other thing that we need to consider is we're actually going to want to let I equal elements dot length minus 1. I is greater than or equal to 0. I minus minus. We're going to loop through the list backwards. And that way we're add them into our elements list backwards. And that way the top one will be the first one. Oh, query selector on document 2 is not a valid selector. Why not? What happened? Oh, right. Duh. Elements I. Let's try that one more time. This before show callback is not a function. So now we need to do L add event listener. No, we're not doing that here. This is becoming tedious. We need to set this before show callback equals before show callback. Okay. Now, we want to before show callback. We want to add this event listener. We want to do this elements, this pointer, add event listener, transition end. Okay, this is starting to come together here. And we want to do, and because we've done this multiple times, let's just go ahead and okay. Then in here, we want, after we've done this, we should do current remove what is it? Clear event listener? It's just remove event listener. Remove event listener. Transition end. And that way we aren't going to like hide the element when we next show it, right? Let's see. Hey, failed to execute remove event listener. Okay. Requires 2? How do you just okay. All right. For God's sakes. All right, let's see. Ready? It's going to go away. And then we have remove our event listener. I think we need to and okay, so cannot read the property style of undefined. Boom. So now we need to add wow, this is getting like significantly more complex than I thought it would be. I thought this would be like really relatively simple. So naive if this pointer is greater than or equal to this element's length, this pointer equals 0. Else. Actually, this shouldn't be that difficult. So this pointer is going to equal -1 because we're going to increment here on our next go around. Ooh. This should actually not be here. Okay, if this pointer is greater than or equal to elements.length, this restart. So let's do return restart. No, we don't want to return. Okay, this pointer equals 0. Hmm. I'm just like thinking really hard about this now. Okay, so we're going to loop through the list. Var I in elements of elements. We're going to reset them. Right? No. Restart. Okay. This pointer is going to equal 0. And we're going to restart. So what we're going to do is we're going to okay. So we're going to prevent transitions after the transition goes through. Then we're going to this is really, really stupid. The way I'm doing this is not the correct way of doing this. Hide callback, after hide callback, before show callback. Oh wait, we don't need to do that. Okay. This, before show callback, go. And then, so what we need to do is let, okay, so we want to move reset. I'm just like kind of flabbergasted at myself. Why did I do it this way? Because what we need to do, so like once we get to this point, right? Like once we get past this one, we're going to go to the next one, right? Okay. And then we're going to go to the next one. Now what we need to do is, so that's the first one, right? But it's technically the last in the stack. So now what we need to do is clone the first one. I think. We need to clone the first one. Or no, we need to re-show the first one. Okay. We're gonna make this an async function, for God's sakes. I'm just gonna like I'm just gonna like wing it, dude. Oh wait. Alright. We're making this a promise. Promise. Um Return new promise. Promise. Resolve. Reject. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Life. What the freak? Oh, you know what? No. Gardner. You silly boy. You don't have an async brain? It's fine. Async actually makes a lot of sense once you like grok it. Basically, you have so async in JavaScript is easy. So you have a promise that's returned, and once and so when you see the await keyword, you're waiting for the promise the promise to be resolved. So if we do it like a set timeout and then we execute resolve at after 500 milliseconds have passed, basically the code's going to pause here and wait for resolve to be called, and then once it's resolved, then we will continue execution here. But I don't think we have to do that because I'm a foolish guy. I think out loud a lot. We don't need this return statement either. Okay, so basically, the way I had this before, I had this in the before show callback, which didn't make any sense. This needs to be in the before show callback. And then, so basically, after we hide, we want to disable the transition. And once we, before we start showing it again, we want to enable the transition. And then we want to actually like modify this stuff. Okay. That makes sense. Now, what we need to do is this reset equals false. And then we want to, so after, yeah, then we want to do this show callback. And we want to do I. And this will let us restart the loop. Hopefully. 1, 2. Ready? Nope, of course not. Why not? All right, let's reduce this down to 1 millisecond or 1 second. 1, 2, 3. Cannot read property of undefined. Why? Where is that in slideshow here? Okay, where in the call stack are we? Start. Oh, because I have to like, bro, you even like awake right now? So let's do this elements 0 because we're restarting. We don't need that. What am I doing? Haha, haha. Almost. We're almost there. Elements is not defined. Where are we at here? Var 0 of elements. Of course. This elements. So what we need to do here, why? So the question is, why isn't it working? So let's refresh. Okay, that works fine. And then so apparently, I think we're not actually removing the current listener. Current remove. That's not working. Let's just say removed listener. Let's pause execution. Let's post this. You're still suffering from post-assembler stress disorder. Assembler is fun. I've never done it. Let's remove. Let's read the documentation on remove event listener. Okay. Method removes from the event target an event listener previously registered with event target add listener. The event listener to be removed is identified using a combination of event type, the event listener function itself, and various optional properties or optional options that may affect the matching process. Okay. So type is a string which refers to the type of event which we want to remove. That's fine. The listener is the function of the event handler to remove the target options. The target event target. Matching event listeners for removal. See. So let's rename this. Transition end handler. And this matches that. Let's try this again. Uh, so I'm hypothesizing now. E. E current target. Or no, we just want target. Probably. E target. That's my thought. Okay. Maybe that'll work. Nope. Okay. So right now, we're just going to hide the visibility thing. Because I think that'll fix this problem. What is happening? This is like really kind of blowing my mind. Why is remove event listener not working? No, I don't. No, man. I don't even. Vim extensions, is that like keyboard shortcuts? Okay. So I think the problem must be down here. Right? The problem has to be down here. Let's just disable this and see what happens. Okay. Now we go back. And then it's going to flash. And then it's going to flash again. Okay. So that is actually working. Let's do this. Let's add this back into the mix. I think that's the problem, right? Nope. Nope. Let's not do that. Let's come back down here and show callback only adds the opacity. So this kind of works. Right? Because then it starts to flash. Because this element the next one isn't shown yet. I don't understand. Okay. So without the other one, it'll start to flash, right? It's going to flash. Yeah, we don't want that. So sorry I'm not talking as much. I'm doing well, Bailey. How are you doing? What the heck is going on? Why is it not working? So let's just check if this element's -1 is null, then we want to return 0. Or 0. Okay, let's try this one more time here. And it's not displaying, it's not doing it anymore. What the heck? Oh, I did. That's awesome to hear, man. You're feeling a lot better? Hey, that's all right, man. Don't worry about... you don't have to donate to my channel in any capacity. I appreciate you for just watching my stuff, my dude. Oh, I see. This, so we want this element's length -1, I bet. I bet you that's going to do it. There, okay. So now hopefully, okay, kind of. This is like actually more complex than I thought it was going to be. Maybe I was naive. Oh man, I haven't done a Linux game jam in 2 years. That's a good question, man. Okay. You know what? We're going to start from scratch with the start method. Okay. So really, I think the only things that we need here are going to be this, and let's get rid of... Okay, let's like write out the problem. So start will call itself on... Oh! Gardener. Let's see what happens now, shall we? Set interval. No, wait, timeout is correct. Yeah, we don't want an interval. Okay. Start is going to be this interval equals set interval. This next item. Show next item. Okay. Okay. We're tackling this a different way now. I'm getting tired. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to do is this. Const current item equals this elements this pointer. If this pointer is greater than or equal to this element dot length, let's this pointer equals 0 and this reset equals true. Current item. Thanks, NextPro. Yeah, this is me just trying to figure out this thing here. That's all I'm doing here. Resets the pointer when needed. shows the next item. Okay, so before show callback. Add event listener. Transition end. Goodness, I am so stumped. This handle restarts. Okay. Add our transition. This is JavaScript. Holy crap, dude. What is going on, man? I literally don't know. what I'm doing. Crikey. So, all right. We're looping through here. So we're going to handle our restarts if we need to. Wait a minute. Let's... Okay. We're going to draw this out. So in HTML, these elements are like this, right? They're laid out like this. But, so this is going to be element 1, this is 2, this is 3. Okay? So it's 0, 1, and 2, right? But in HTML, they are laid out like this, right? And in my stack, they're actually, so it's 0, 1, 2, but it's actually in reverse. So it's 0, 1, 2. Okay? So if we take this element and then we make it transparent. Okay? So now the pointer's at 2, or no, the pointer that would be at 1. Okay. So we want to be hiding the current element, right? So not showing, but hiding. So what we want to do is actually loop through our list at first. And we want to hide okay, so right here, let's this hide callback. L. Okay, so what that's going to do is it's going to make it so we're only dealing with these two at this point, right? 1 and 2. Right. So then these are going to be, so they're all going to be hidden at this point. So what we need to do is this element's 0 is going to have a style, or let's do this show callback for the first element. So we're going to initialize our first element. So we're showing it. Okay. Do we need to do that? I don't know. This is me thinking through this problem. Then we're going to start. Get out of here. We're going to start. So we're going to start an interval. We're going to handle restarts. Next, show next item. Okay. So we're going to do... Okay, I think I have my terminology screwed up. So let's just change this to before next callback. Beautiful. After next callback. So this is going to hide. This is after we have done the next callback, and this is before we've done the next callback. Right? So before next callback, we're going to set our opacity transition to 5 seconds or 0.5 seconds. Right? So this might help help me think through this. Okay. So now we need 2 elements here. So we're going to do next item equals this elements, this get pointer. Right? We're going to create a thing that holy crap. Okay, so we need to get pointer. Add is going to be equal to 0. So what we're going to do is if this pointer let pointer equal this pointer plus add, if pointer is greater than or equal to this element dot length, then return 0, otherwise return pointer. Perfect. So that's going to give us a pointer that we can have. So then what we need to do is also have a set pointer value. Right? Do we need a set pointer? No. Because we know that we have the right pointer value. Yeah, this is JavaScript. Frick. Okay, so before next callback, current item. So in our list, we have 0 and 1. Okay. So 0 and then 1 and then 2. So even though in JavaScript and in HTML it's this direction, we want to be going this way. So we do 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2. Okay. So we've hidden them all. So the next thing that we need to do is next item. We need to do next item. This show callback next item. And then this before next callback. Current item. Right? Because this is going to show we're going to hide You like this, The Rebellious Geek? I'm having fun so far. Holy crap, it's 11:30. Yeah. Current item, add event listener transition, this transition handler. We're going to remove this transition now. We're going to do e dot. Removes our transition. Sets our transition. Add our event listener. And then we're going to hide callback. So we're going to remove make opaque, make transparent. Okay. Make the next item. Let's see how this works. I don't know if this is going to work at all. This is going to be weird. It's going to have an error. Yep. After next callback is not a function. That's almost working though. Hey, that almost worked. Holy crap, is it actually working? Wow. Dude, it's actually working. And the chat says, it says there's no concurrent viewers as I get it working. Nice. So this after next callback is not a function. Oh. You know what? I don't think we need that. If it's not working right now, we don't need it. You know what? It works. Guys, it's working. Right there. That's all you need. I'm done. I'm so done. It's not even funny, my guys. I don't know how it works, but it's working. Wait, let's step through this. I'm gonna write a little bit of documentation here. I think the problem was I was trying to do it like all clean, like. Oh, right. This is because this context doesn't exist when we're doing the event handler. Okay. All right. Okay. But this does work. Okay. Handle restarts. Make the next item opaque. Oh, you know what we should do? This after next callback next item. I wonder if that'll do it. So that, because they are kind of like, okay, that looks right. That looks right. No. That works. That works. And then this one's harsh. Okay. We don't need that one for now. Okay. So call this to start the interval. What does handle restarts do again? Oh. I don't think we need that. Do we? No. We don't need that. Because get pointer does that. At least that's what I hope. Yeah. Get pointer handles the restarts for us. Okay. We got to simplify our code as much as possible because we don't need this. Okay. Transition handler. Removes the event listener once it's completed. Get pointer returns a valid pointer, returns the next valid index of the current list of elements. Okay. Show next item will show the next item in the list of elements. Get the pointer current item and next item. Let's do this. Okay, this element's next pointer. This is just because we're using this over and over a couple times. So gets the next valid pointer, current item, and next item. Update the pointer. Show callback. Make the next item opaque. Possibly make the okay, sets up our transition. Add our transition listener, and then make the current item transparent. Okay. Start init elements. All right, initialize and push an element to the slideshow. Add a list of elements to the end of the current slideshow elements. Search for the element. Loop backwards through our list. Search for the element. If it doesn't exist in the DOM, ignore it. Initialize the element. And initialize our first, display our first element. Beautiful. Now that is how you write some documentation and some clean looking code. Now you'll notice that this code for each method, this code only has one level of indentation per method. That is very, very important to me as a coder. You can never, in my opinion, if you write code with more than one level of indentation, you're a bad programmer. Now, I mean, there is 2 levels of indentation here because we have this, but but like a method, like the constructor, the add elements, you cannot have in a single method or a function, you can't have more than one level of indentation. It is illegible if you have more than one level of indentation in a method or a function. The other thing here is you'll note that I really don't like logic closures. Like this is unavoidable for a loop, but you'll notice that like there are no if statements in this at all that that like have like blocks of like logic blocks like this. I can't stand logic blocks, and it adds to the complexity of reading it. So the way I like to write my code is a for, you have your for loop, right? And if the query is null, then just continue. Continue is basically like return, but for a loop. It's pretty nice. So you can skip over the rest of the instructions by hitting continue. Similarly, if we go down here, get pointer, if the pointer is greater than the length of the elements array or equal to it, then we're going to return 0. Otherwise, we'll return the pointer, which is the pointer plus whatever our additional parameter is. This is Gardner. This has been Gardner's Coding Tech Tips. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm gonna go to bed now. I've been streaming for 3 hours. Wow, I should actually like live stream my coding more because I actually like code for a lot longer, and I feel like I'm a little more talkative when I'm coding. So that's nice. Yeah, I'm gonna live stream more often my coding because it's fun. I did it once and it was like stressful, but this was actually pretty fun to work through this. Okay. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.